Alright guys, welcome back to Veterans View News Network. Tonight I just kind of wanted to do a kind of a really good in-depth goal setting video. So when it comes down to setting goals for yourself, whether it be personal goals, professional goals, any type of goals, I kind of wanted to go through the good system to use, which is called the SMART system, and I'll get into that here in just a little bit. But then also break down areas of your life where you should have goals. You know, the different categories that you should maybe be looking at. So just kind of jumping right in. So the SMART system. So that's S-M-A-R-T, the word SMART. What that stands for is when you are looking at creating goals, you should follow this breakdown. So the S stands for specific, the M stands for measurable, the A stands for attainable, the R stands for relevant, and the T stands for time-bound or trackable. The reason you want to follow this system is, for a lot of people, it can be very challenging to set goals. They may not know where to start. They may put all their goals together in one basket that are in a bunch of different categories. And if you do that, you may have one goal that counters a different goal that you have, depending on the path you would take to achieve that goal. It can get really, really frustrating. So when you break these down into categories, you are going to want to use the SMART system for each of these categories. So, for instance, we've got career goals. That's probably going to be a big one for everybody. Now, when you're thinking of your career goals, here's some questions that you should ask yourself when you're creating your goals. Are you striving for future promotions? Are you okay with where you are in your job and you never want to promote, never want to move up any further? That's totally fine. This is a question you need to ask, though. Next one. Are there any additional maybe certifications that you need? Moving to the next. You know, there's this saying that if you are able to do a job that you love doing, that job is more like a hobby that you get paid for versus a job. And this helps with your mindset, which we'll cover here in just a little bit. And also, are there ways that you can maximize your time at the job so that you can also maximize your time at home with your family? So that'd kind of be for career, some questions you should ask yourself. And then when you ask those questions to yourself, then you can use the SMART system to ensure that your goals meet each of these letters. If your goal is not able to meet each of these letters, you need to rethink that goal or rework the goal so that it does meet one of these letters. So after career, we've got financial, another huge one. We know a lot of people are having financial issues in the U.S. I mean, the fact some of my previous videos, you know, over 60% of the U.S. population does not have $1,000 set aside in the event they had some type of emergency. They would have to either take out a personal loan, use a credit card, or get a payday loan. So finances are huge. So starting out with financing, you should start with doing a budget. And then the type of questions that you should be asking yourself. Obviously, how much money am I going to make this year? Now, if you're a salaried employee, you know how much you're going to make that year. How much do you want to save this year? What do you want to save for this year? You know, so, and you can have multiple categories. So if you say, okay, this year I want to save $15,000. $10,000 of that I want to save for a new car. The other $5,000 I want to save for vacation. So you can kind of pick and choose that. What are your financial plans? For instance, like I just mentioned, are you saving to buy a car in the near future? Are you looking at buying a home in the next X number of years? How many years is it going to take you saving to achieve that? Where are you looking at buying the home? How much are you going to need to save for a down payment and closing costs and realtor fees? So these are all kind of questions, once again, you need to ask yourself when you're thinking about creating goals. Now, next one, family. So family's huge. If you're single and you're thinking about family, it may just be, you know what, I want to get a boyfriend or I want to get a girlfriend. I'm established in my career. I want to have a family in the future. What are some goals you can set yourself up with now? So let's say you want to get married. You could start taking marriage classes as a single person. Why would you do that? Because you're going to gain exposure to common issues that couples have. So this is going to better prepare you so that you do get in a relationship, then you move in together, you get married, so that you're not starting to question your relationship if you start having some of these issues, because there are a lot of common issues that exist. Do you want to have children? You could take some early childhood development college classes. So you could learn about how babies develop, what phases they go through, how they go through those phases, what are the time frames that those phases typically take place. It can be very simple stuff. Also, what qualities do you have that you believe would make you a good partner or a good spouse or a good parent? But then also, we can't forget, we have to think of what traits do we have that may hurt us in those categories. And then if you have some of those traits that may hurt you, what are some things you can do to work on those, to build those up, to strengthen those traits ahead of time, so that when you do find yourself in that situation, once again, you are better prepared. Moving on to attitude. Now, attitude, I'd more classify it as kind of your mindset. Are you a positive person by nature or a negative person? Glass half empty or glass half full? Do you have some type of chemical imbalance that is potentially, even though you may be taking medication for it or maybe you're not taking medication for it, is there something mentally that you have very little control over that is causing you to have this mindset? Let's see here. If it is just you having a negative mindset, then you need to evaluate why. What is causing this? Do you hate your job? Do you hate your boss? Do you hate the people you work with? Whatever it is, you need to be able to target what is causing that, and then you can set goals for yourself. How am I going to improve this? Okay, I want to start doing this. I want to start looking at new jobs. I want to finish my degree so I can get a higher paying job. I want to finish this certification. All of this is very pertinent and very relevant information that can be used. Also with the attitude or mindset, if you're in a relationship, is it your spouse or your partner? Is it something they're doing? And if it's something they're doing, are you just withholding and suppressing how you feel? Well, if that's the case, you can develop some goals and a plan to be able to discuss these things with your partner or your spouse. And if they care about you, they should want to hear your input, because they themselves should be doing the same thing. So that overall will help with your communication skills, and it'll just strengthen your relationship. Then we've got physical goals. So for physical goals specifically, do you have any goals you would like to achieve? Do you want to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain date? Do you want to, get back into a particular pant size that you wore when you were younger? Do you have some kind of event coming up? Are you coming up on your 10-year or 20-year high school reunion and you want to show up and you want to look good? What are some of the reasons that you would want to focus on these? Maybe you're looking at doing something like going into law enforcement or becoming a firefighter or joining the military. Those are very physical careers. So do you want to start preparing yourself so that by the time you get into those careers and you get into your basic training or you get into your academy, whether it's fire or police academy, you are competing at a much higher level, so you have a better chance of succeeding. And once again, this is all figured out through looking at your goals and writing your goals in a particular way so that you can achieve these. And then the last one could be, your confidence. If you feel like, if you're single and you feel like people don't talk to you or don't look at you or you have no chance of getting in any relationships because of your physical appearance, that could be a reason that you want to try and work on your physical health. Or is it your partner or spouse? Do you believe they're starting to lose interest in you because you're never exciting, you're never doing some of these things, playing sports with the kids, going bike riding, you're not engaging in these kind of activities, that can be very detrimental to relationships. So once again, it's the mindset and writing your goals following the SMART system: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound, or trackable. If your goals for each of those categories, so you're going to use that for each one. So you're going to, let's say, look at career. You're going to follow the SMART system for your goals. You're going to look at financial. Follow the SMART system for your goals. You're going to look at family. Follow the SMART system for your goals. So on and so forth. So then for the last goal, what we've got is pleasure. What are things that you enjoy doing outside of work, outside of, if you had a day off and nobody else was at the house, what would you find yourself doing? Is it playing sports, playing video games? Is it reading? Is it watching TV? Is it making YouTube videos? What is it that you enjoy doing? And then once you're able to make that list of what you enjoy doing, then you're able to look at these things and say, okay, you know what? I've noticed I've been more stressed out lately. I haven't been wanting to do some of the things that I normally do. Oh, it's because I'm not taking that time to do what I want to do. If you're a female, it might be going and getting your nails and toes done, getting your hair done. Those could be the things. It's whatever you enjoy doing in your off time. What these allow you to do is when you're doing something you enjoy, your brain is able to kind of take a step back and relax. And with the type of society we live in nowadays, our brain is going 24/7. We're thinking about this, thinking about what somebody said on Facebook, thinking about what somebody said on Twitter, thinking about what somebody said on Instagram. They posted this on TikTok. They posted that on TikTok. Oh, my kids aren't doing as good as so-and-so's kids on Facebook. They posted a picture of... Our brains are going crazy. And we need to be able to take a step back, remove ourselves, and allow our brains a chance to just chill. And when our brains are able to chill, a lot of times we get much more mental clarity. We're able to think better. Our brain functions better because you've been able to remove your thought processes from every single thing that was tying up 100% of your brain stimulation throughout the day. And these can make positive changes on your life. This SMART system really works. I have been following it quite a bit lately. And the nice thing is you can adjust it on the fly. It's nothing set in stone. If you set a goal for yourself, say you want to obtain it in 6 months, and let's say you're going through and you have a hiccup along the way and it sets you back a month, as long as you've got a justification for it and you can hold yourself accountable, you can still follow it. You just adjust it. Say, you know what? It was supposed to take me 6 months. This is what happened. It was no fault of my own. I now need an additional month to get that knocked out. But the thing that the SMART system allows you to do is to make sure you're crafting well-balanced goals. You're not crafting something that's really lopsided in one way. You're not saying something like, well, I want to make $1 million. Okay, well, how are you going to do that? I want to work. Okay, work doing what? When do you want to, how long do you want to give yourself to make that money? You know, why do you want to get that? These are the kind of questions we need to be asking ourselves. So I really hope, that you guys can use some of these. I've used them. I've had friends use them. I didn't create these. These are not my own. These have existed for as long as I can remember, quite a few decades. So this is not a new concept. But a lot of times people don't even know it exists. That these types of things don't exist, so they don't look for them, or they don't even know where they would look for them. So I'm hoping you guys will maybe be able to get something out of this, use it to better your life. And you don't have to do this for every category. If you just want to do it for your career because you have everything else in order, then just do it for your career. If you just want to do it for finances because you have everything else in order, just do it for finances. But if you're just starting, I imagine each of these categories is important. And you can add more categories to this. The categories I listed, it's not an end-all be-all list. It is just the big ones that I listed. But you can add as many as you want. And you can follow and apply that SMART system to as many as you want. So with that, guys, as always, please hit the like button if you like this content. I am still growing. It's blowing my mind how quickly this channel is growing. I greatly appreciate you guys watching and liking and commenting. And for a new YouTube channel that is still growing, hitting the like button is the absolute best thing you can do for a video. Tells YouTube that I'm putting out content people like and enjoy watching, and it pushes my video out to more people get to see it, and it just becomes this effect where your video may start out only being shown to a few thousand, but then it goes to 10, 15, 20, 40, 80. Before you know it, you've got this knowledge getting sent to a bunch of people and helping a bunch of people. Also, guys, if you want to keep seeing this content, please hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications. I'm posting videos every single day. I've got my schedule on my About section on my page as to what I'm going to be talking about for each day in terms of what type of news, whether it's going to be personal-based news or national news. I'm also waiting for my community tab from YouTube. I have met the metrics to get my community tab. I do want to start launching polls and just kind of getting a place where we can post stuff and interact with one another. And just so I can kind of get a better insight for what you guys as the channel want to see me do. So with that, guys, as always, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to check out my videos. I hope this information was useful for you. Hit that like button once again, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.